Okay, we are live. We're ready to go. It's Friday, 8 a.m. Time for some English. Okay, great. So today is our last intermediate English lesson in our group, and that's very exciting. We've gone through 7 sections of our course, 7 parts of our course, and we've talked about a lot of different topics that are important for learning English, and especially for people who are at an intermediate level. So today I just wanted to start by talking a little bit about what a level is, what a level means. We just completed this intermediate course. So what really does intermediate mean? And when you're finishing a course, you should also think about your goals. What are you going to do next? How are you going to take what we studied, what we learned, and use it, right? So we need to talk about those things today. So what's a level? A level is just a way for us to group together some ideas. When people are learning a language, there's some ideas that you have to learn first, right? Like you have to learn how letters sound, how to say the sounds of the letters. You have to learn this before you can speak sentences, right? So there are some steps that we have to learn before other steps. And so levels are just one person's decision to put together some ideas that must be learned before other ideas. So for example, in intermediate English, we spoke a lot more about present perfect, and we spoke a lot more about past perfect. And that's because some difficult grammar concepts, difficult grammar ideas use that later, right? We must already know that before we can learn the next step. So this is really what a level is. It's just a group of ideas that people think that we need to learn before other ideas. But a level is not something that always stays the same, right? Maybe you study every day right now, and so your level is growing, right? And you feel more confident speaking. You're learning new things regularly, and it's becoming easier for you to remember them and use them. But if we stop using it, then our level might decrease, right? Today, I know maybe 5 words in Italian, but I lived in Italy when I was in school, when I was in high school, and I had friends there who I spoke Italian with only, not English. So I spoke with people at that level, at that age, but today, if someone tried to have a conversation with me, I can't remember it at all. Because I haven't used it for years. And so you can lose your level. So just because you go to intermediate or pre-intermediate or advanced or whatever name we call this group of ideas, it changes all the time. Another interesting thing to think about is that usually when people study English a lot, where am I? There I am. Usually when people study English regularly, or any language or any skill regularly, then we see something like they start having more and more success, and then there's some period where they stop, and then they try some more, and then something difficult happens, and they go up, and something happens, and they go up, and something happens. And so after we study a lot, if we forget words or we forget something that we learned not long ago, and we start to think, I'm so stupid, how did I forget that? This doesn't mean that we stopped growing our level. We have to go down sometimes before we can go up more, right? So so a level is not something that stays the same, and especially when we talk about intermediate. In all of my years teaching English, intermediate is always the level where some people many people are very different in this level. We can separate intermediate into maybe, 3 parts also. So it's very big, and it doesn't matter that it's called intermediate. I had a school in Russia, an offline school, and sometimes students came to us from other schools and they'd say, I'm advanced in this school. And then they came to our school and they had like a level test with a native speaker. And we would tell them like, we think you're elementary or, a very low level compared to a very high level. And so in different places, people have different ideas of what levels are, right? So the ideas of like intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced, beginner, these don't give us a lot of information. It's better for us to use some kind of number system, right? Like if you take an exam like the IELTS exam or the TOEFL exam, then you get a score, and this number represents something. And this is probably a better way to think about a level. But again, this level is about groups of ideas. Some people can answer those questions on a test very well, but when they speak, it's very difficult for them, right? So it's very difficult to say what exactly a level means. One thing is clear: it's not that important. Whatever we call the level, it's not so important. It's important to know that we are better than we were before, but it's not so important to know that somebody calls me a beginner and somebody calls me advanced, and right? Maybe that motivates you. Now, if that motivates you, then use it. Then tell yourself you need to go to the next level, because that's the second part, right? We also need to think about what our goal is. Is our goal just to be advanced? If that's our goal, then we need to find somebody who calls us advanced, right? Or some test that says that we're advanced, and then we can say that we achieved this goal. But right now we should think about what really is the goal that we have for learning English. So I suggest separating it into a few different categories, like how do you use English? What are you going to use it for? Right, this is actually a noun. A use. Use is the pronunciation. So not the verb to use. Right? We have the verb to use and noun a use. And it's a, not an, because the first sound here is y. The first sound is not oo. The first sound is y. So this is a consonant sound, not a vowel sound. A use. Right? So what is the main use for your English, right? You can have a goal about that. How am I going to use it more to get a result? You can also think of like, you can think of your weaknesses, where there's a part of English that you really don't know. And maybe it's connected to something that's important for you. For example, right now we are studying general English, right? But maybe you're a business person. I think Abdo said he was. So then, maybe one of your goals should be to study more specialized English for business. Maybe you travel a lot and you think, oh, it's important, if I need to go to a hospital, I need to know how to talk about my body and how to talk about injuries, right? So maybe we study more medical English. Or so you could set a goal like this about a different area of English, because there's a lot of different words in these areas that we don't usually speak about in general conversation, right? So when we go through a level or a course, there's usually some specific ideas, groups of ideas that we're focusing on, and we're trying to improve them. But now we need to use them in a real life situation so that we forget them less, and so that we have a way to practice them, right? So we need to think about this. How do we want to use English? Let's share some ideas about this. How do you want to use English in your life? Maybe it's going to be one of the examples I gave, or maybe you have another example. So, Colin, what do you think? How do you want to use English in your life?
Well, I started to hello.
Hey.
So I started to study English almost 4 years ago. It was a New Year resolution, and I managed to keep this hobby alive. I started to study English for the main reason is for traveling, but I use English at work. There are meetings in Society of in the Society of Petroleum Engineers, and these meetings are always in English, because in these meetings participate engineers from all over the world. Mm-hmm. And this is another reason for I study English. In the last time I use English only in this course because I didn't travel, and the meetings didn't have place in the last time. Mm-hmm. Those meetings. So I use English in this course. Mm-hmm. But it's super okay to use English in this course because you have the opportunity to meet people from all over the world. So could be a fun way to use English.
Yeah. So when you go to these work meetings, when you went to these work meetings that happened in the past and probably will happen in the future, do you feel like you were very confident when you had to speak English?
Well, I wasn't in the situation to speak. I only listened to the presentations, and I was very happy that I can understand. I didn't participate before studying English, of course, because I couldn't understand.
All right. Okay. So you haven't presented anything at any of these conferences?
Not yet, but maybe in the future I will have a presentation.
Okay. Yeah, great. Just one thing you said that you were happy that you could do something, right? Or that you could join or you could participate.
Yes.
So I just wanted to point something out that everyone should remember, that we should use past tense in both of these parts of the sentence. I was happy that I could take part, or that I could participate. Cool. So, okay, let's imagine that you're like some kind of cartoon character. Okay. You go to these work meetings. who are you when you go to these meetings? Maybe not cartoon character, maybe an action hero or a superhero, or how do you feel when you go to these meetings?
A superhero is always very involved in the action. I can't say that I'm very involved in the action, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, cool. So what would be like the biggest achievement that you could make at these kinds of meetings? Be a presenter?
Yes, maybe I will have a presentation in the future. So I can say that would be a big achievement.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Maybe not alone, maybe together with some member of the team, of my team, but will be a big achievement for me and my team.
That's great. Awesome.
In my office, and not only in my office, many of my colleagues are good English speaker, and I can say that I was embarrassed that I can't speak.
That you couldn't speak?
That I couldn't speak. Yes, I can now. It was another reason that I started to study English.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yes, I have colleagues that they worked in other countries. I have colleagues that work in Alaska or in the United States.
Right. And for example, who do you want to be to those people? Just a colleague, or do you want to be like the head of the department that works with them, or do you want to be?
I don't. It's not my goal to become the boss of the department, but I think being a member of that Society of Petroleum Engineers, you should have a presentation, one presentation at least. So this is my goal, and I hope I will have it in the next 2 or 3 years.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Actually, we work now at a big project, and this project will be part of the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, we have to speak better English.
Okay. By then, by that time.
By the time, yes.
All right, Colin, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So one thing that I want to say here is when we're thinking about our goals with language, it's also about who we are, right? Because if we can use language better, then we can be in a different position or do some things that we want to do and use the language for this reason, right? And when every language has some different way to operate, right? You have like a different character, different way of saying things in different languages. And so really you get to decide who you want to be when you learn a new language. You have to decide who you are in this language, which phrases you say and which phrases you don't say, right? There are some bad words in every language, and maybe you're a person who doesn't say them, and maybe you're a person who says them sometimes, and maybe you're a person who only says them in jokes, or maybe you're a person who only says them to repeat what somebody else said. Right? So there's there's a lot of different ways that we can decide who we are as a person in general through language. And so we can really think about like not only what goal I want to achieve, but who do I want to be in the future? using English, right? Or using another language. Because this can be part of this is another part of who you are. If we really know the language, then it becomes like part of who we are, right? So, okay, what are some other goals? Someone else can share about their goals for learning English and what they want to use it for. Who wants to go next? Aida wants to go next. Oh, Abdo will be after that.
Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry that I'm disappearing sometimes because I'm at work now.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry that it's the last lesson with you.
Well, what are your goals moving forward? Where do you want to go and use English?
I travel a lot. I try to travel every year, and I need English while I'm traveling, of course. In every country, I cannot speak every language of the countries. That's why, of course, I need English. And I speak English a lot when I go abroad.
So do you think that you feel very comfortable speaking English?
Not 100%, of course. But I feel that this year I started to speak more fluently.
Fluently?
Yes, and I think the next year when we go abroad, it will be better, and I will speak faster with foreign people. I hope so. And also maybe for work too, because for example, just an hour ago, my colleague told me that there is one work, summer work,
Summer job?
Summer job, yeah, summer job for children, and I mean acting. Like I should teach them acting, but in English.
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about it. Maybe I will try. Maybe.
I think it's a great idea for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something else that I didn't say today, but everyone should know that one of the best ways to learn anything is to teach it.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you teach something 1 or 2 times, you really understand it a lot more and a lot better.
Yes, of course. And I hope that maybe this month or next month, my friend and colleague from our theater will join your program too, and we will be together here.
High five. Yeah, cool. All right, great. Let's thank you, Aida.
Thank you.
Great. It's great news. Let's see, Safa, what about you? What are your plans? How are you going to use English?
Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone. I'm fine, thanks. So for me personally, I am studying English for professional purposes because in my field, all job interviews and job meetings are in English because in pharmacovigilance, we have international companies. So speaking English fluently is very important. So yes, that's why I am trying to improve my English level because it's important. Yes.
Okay, so will you be able to participate in more meetings or move to a higher position, or?
Yes, to move to higher positions and see other activities in my field, because there are other activities that need skills in writing, for example, to write safety reports and safety, for example, risk management plans for medicines and all that. And it needs really vocabulary and how to paraphrase ideas, and yes,
It requires this.
yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
it's really important.
That's great. That's great. So, so you'll probably focus on more written English, studying more written English then, right? Because a lot of this work will be submitting these reports.
Yes, yes. I need to work, I think, in both oral and written English.
Mhm.
Yes, but I think vocabulary is one of the points that I should really
Improve.
improve. Yes, that's
Uh-huh.
it. Mhm.
But now you can start focusing on some vocabulary that's more connected to your interests, and like
Yes.
when you're reading news articles or when you're reading publications by other people, you can take notes on the vocabulary and create your own vocabulary list.
Yes, yes, in my field and some scientific reports and yes, medical vocabulary. Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Great.
Yes.
So let's talk about two verbs, to need and to require. So, for example, there's some process and we need to submit documents. This means that the process requires documents. The process requires us to submit documents. So if we say it, then we're talking about some process. So we can say it is required, right? It's required to submit your documents, or they require us to submit documents. Right? Okay. Cool. Let's go to Saida. Saida, hi. How are you going to learn English? Or how are you going to use English? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, could I say my dream? What is my dream? My dream job is a famous teacher in the world.
Yeah.
And like you. Well, now I'm a teacher in a school. There, when I'm taking my class, I'm using the English. And when I'm reading any, when I gave them any diary, then I use their English.
When you give them
Sentences.
writing tasks?
Yeah, for writing text, or sometimes their homework.
Oh, homework. Okay.
Then there I use English. And when I'm going to make any creative activities for them, there I use this language. Most of the students like that. They're not like just read this, you say this and learn this. No. They just like the more attractive works, group work, sometimes creativity works, and use English.
Right. That's great.
And also in a meeting, when our sir called me in a meeting.
In meetings with your department at the school?
Yeah, with my department. Yeah. And we have to speak English in our school environment. So
okay.
It's important.
But what is your native language, your first language?
That is Bangla.
Bangla. Okay.
Yeah.
And so everyone there speaks Bangla, but then they all are all speaking English in the school?
Yeah, I speak English in the school.
Cool. That's a really interesting environment.
When I was very young, I was in London. So there, when I'm studying, when I was studying there, then I can speak so swiftly English.
I could.
I could. But when I back from that Europe,
you came back?
I came back. It was 1990. After that, for my lack of practice, I forgot how to
Uh-huh.
speak properly. That's why I think it's important to learn again.
But I think you speak very clearly and very, very well. I don't think you have a big accent or something. I think you speak English very well.
Thank you. I like the phonetics symbol, you know. You showed some symbol in articles there. And there's so easiest for me. I like them.
Symbols?
Yeah, I mean phonetics. These are
Phonetics. Okay.
phonetics. Yeah.
Phonetic
Could
symbols.
I be a famous teacher in the world? What do you think?
Of course, why not? It just
If you
so
help me, then I can.
so okay. First, it's actually a great question because, like we said, one of the best ways to really know something is to teach it. So this is for everyone who's watching, and not only people who are already teachers, but anybody who's studying something, thinking of yourself as from the beginning, I need to learn it because I need to teach it to somebody else. This is great motivation too, especially if you go to somebody and you say, hey, I'm going to teach you this, then you have to master it more so that you can teach it. And now you're responsible to another person, and this is good motivation. So I think that the first thing you should do is you should specialize. You should focus on, you should really decide, like, who is it that I teach specifically, and how can I help them specifically? So to say everything that needs to happen in one small sentence, you should focus on solving a problem. The bigger the problem that you can solve, the more success you're going to have. So you want to just understand which problems you solve right now. What's the biggest problem that you solve right now? Maybe there's another problem that's a little bigger than that, and you just need to learn something more to get there. And so you can keep thinking. If you think like this, then everything else will work. Because when you solve problems for people, people are ready to pay you money. People are ready to have you as a guest on their TV show or their radio show, or people are ready to work with you when you solve problems, right? So think about that, I think. Yeah, cool. So thank you so much, Saida. And we have a couple of things I just wanted to remind everybody about. One of them is English. So if we're going to use English as a noun, then we don't have an article before it. We just say English, right? We understand it's a language. We also understand that it's like a nationality. But if we say English language, now we need to say the English language. But we don't usually say the English. Just English, not the English, just English. But if we say language after it, then we say the English language, right? Because now English is an adjective that talks about language. Just like if we said English people, the English people, government, the English government. Great. An English tutor, right. Right. We could use a different article. We could say an English school, an English tutor. But if it's just English about the language, then it's just English, no article. However, there's always an exception, right? There's always an exception to the rule. That's the rule. However, let's pretend that we're talking about Australian English and American English and different accents. And I say, well, the English that they speak in Boston is different from the English that they speak in New York. This is okay. because now I'm talking about one type of English, one type of this language, right? But in general, when we speak about English, there's no article. Next, work and works. So these are both nouns. Work is an uncountable noun, and works is a countable noun. That's more than one. What's the difference? So usually work, it's about doing some action, some job, using your energy. So we can say, this is hard work with no article. We don't say this is a hard work. We can't say that because it's uncountable. However, we also have another word, work, which is countable. Work, one work and two works. This is some kind of work that was done before and it's finished. And usually it's about art. So imagine there's a sculptor and he's making a sculpture, and when he finishes it, now they show it in the museum and they say, this is an amazing work of art. A work of art. It's countable because we can count this thing that they made, right? So we should usually, like 95% of the time, we're going to be saying the uncountable noun, work. It's hard work. We have to do some work, not works. Works will be many works of art. Yeah. And then the last one, back. So in some languages, you can just say like the person and the word back, and everybody understands that you are using the verb go, that you're talking about going back, right? Like in Russian, you can say that. You can just say, yeah, обратно, I back. And you can understand from some context, it means I'm going back. But in English, we don't understand that. In English, we have to say go back or come back. And so we always have to use a verb with back. Great. Abdo.
Yes, Chris. With word works. In some situations, if we are discussing about something specifically, I can say, I did that my way and it works.
This is the verb to work.
It has another meaning. So it's success.
This is the verb to work.
Yes.
Just the third person, he, she, it works, right? So we're saying it works, like it functions, it does the work, it does the job, right? But these are nouns.
Yes.
Yeah, good point.
It works a verb.
It's a verb, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Abdo, what do you want to use English for?
So for me, I have big plans actually. I'm working as a real estate developer, but in my country we have a very difficult situation. I'm talking about economy problems, and our currency floated. So materials are very high. So I need to learn English as a profession. Maybe I need at least 3 years, but I think out of the window, I have time, I have money, I have health. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm learning how to talk, how to listen correctly. So maybe after 1 year, I will take academic courses. Maybe I will start with IELTS. So maybe I need 2 or 3 years.
Okay. That's great. That's great. To me, it sounds like you could already do business with people in English? I mean,
In business, I'm in my country. Usually, I sell my properties to Egyptian, but maybe these people could live anywhere, Arabic Gulf countries, Europe, US. So, but
uh-oh, did we lose the connection?
now very difficult in general. So prices are very high. So the market is full. So
Yeah. You're not worried about
it's not beneficial
bubble?
in that. Yeah, sorry.
You're not worried about the bubble?
No. Everything needs time, and I think maybe I have to change. I have to make a career shift because maybe we are talking about maybe 5 or 6 years. The economy will be like this because it's totally full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No chances right now. So I have to think out of the window, and I have to get benefits with my free time. Maybe this is the best investment I can do in that moment to
Cool.
learn something useful, to learn
Yeah.
something as a profession.
Investing in yourself is always the best investment, right?
Yes.
That's great. Oh, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's go to Gigi. Gigi, how are you going to use English?
Hi everyone. Hi Chris.
Hi.
Yeah, my proposal is exactly because I live here in Netherlands, and since I got here, I started to learn English again because, of course, during my life I have learned, but of course I forgot everything because I didn't use in my daily life. Yes, I have studied at the physical class, like offline, like 3 years, but of course it's very expensive, and I didn't get the same result nowadays. I'm happy, I'm grateful for found your course, your platform, because since I started here, I think I improve a lot. Then I can communicate in good way. That here in Netherlands, especially here in Rotterdam, everyone speaks English. Then I can go everywhere, government, doctor, yes, and then I communicate in English. That when I watched your seminar, you said you have to believe that you speak English, and then I believe that, and then and then people believe that I speak English, and then it's good. You are in the same page in that case.
Yeah.
And go ahead. And yeah, I think I'm so happy because I have studied. I have been studying here almost 2 years, and I'm happy because I didn't pass it by because I think it's good for me. I attend normal every day, several lessons, and I would say that sometimes it's important to repeat the subject. I think I learn more because if just attend one subject once, I think I forgot the word and how can I express that idea. And then for me, it's useful when, for example, we're talking about donate something. And then I can attend different teachers. They, of course, you teach a different way. You meet different people at the breakout room, then I can share my opinion, then I can get then that new information, and I think that I stay in my mind, and then then I can say I become confident about that subject, and then after that I can jump for another, and Yes, I think since I started here, yes, I noticed that I have improved, and yes, I can go everywhere in good way. And I believe I speak English.
That's great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Gigi.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay, Amira. Amira, how are you going to how are you going to use English?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I think that English language it helped me to improve myself, and I need learning to read something, to understand something. Also, it helps me to find a good job, to or using it um, for if I want to travel, I I use it to treat with other people.
Mhm.
I think it's so important to learn English. It's useful for us in different to use it in different fields.
Different fields.
Yes.
Mhm. Great. Thank you so much, Amira. Nirvana, how about you? How are you going to use English?
Hello. I think very important know English because many kinds of the instructions of many kinds of machines come in English, and how to know how use these machines. I need know English
Mhm.
for communicate with anyone is important. Know English,
To know English? Mhm.
to know English, and to travel facilitate the English facilitate to travel also.
It facilitates traveling.
Facilitate
Uh-huh.
traveling.
It helps. It helps you travel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I usually don't use English, but I think it's very important. I always wanted know English.
To know English.
To
Mhm.
know English, yes. Thank you for correcting me. It's very important for me.
You're welcome. So one important thing we should remember is the word important is an adjective. After adjectives, we have to say the infinitive, right? To. Nice to meet you. It's important to learn English. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Great. Thank you so much. And one more thing I wanted to tell everyone is that, you know, sometimes I hear teachers and students talking about this topic like today, about our goals with English, about how to use English. And everybody says, oh, English is so important. It's so important. It's so great. But sometimes I feel strange, like, is English really that great? Like, is it better than other things? I don't think so. English is just a tool that we use. It's just an instrument that we use, right? So we have to do some activities and we just use English. And so like I would put it in my toolbox with like being able to design images. This is a tool. I can design images in any language. I can design an image is kind of a different language than using words, right? Video editing. This is a skill, a tool that I can use. There's lots of different things. Marketing, accounting, managing people, relationships with people. These are all different tools, and English is just another one of these tools. It doesn't mean that it's a better language. It's just the tool that people use right now. Soon we might need to learn Chinese. So it's just a tool, right? That's it. And in different parts of the world, we need other tools. If we go to Kazakhstan, then Russian would be useful. If we go to Morocco, it might be useful to know Arabic or Spanish. So there's lots of different tools. We use them in different situations, and English is just another tool, another instrument. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It's just something that we use, right? Like a hammer. Is a hammer good or bad? Who knows, right? So the same with English. Okay, I'd like to also speak with Albina. Hi, Albina.
Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone.
Welcome. It's your first time joining this group, and it's our last lesson. So thanks for joining us today. And maybe you have some ideas about how you want to use English in the future.
Yes. For me, I long time work English, but for some courses, but after that I don't practice, and forgot everything. But now I moved in another country, and here all people speak English.
So where are you from, and where did you move?
Okay, I'm from Bulgaria, and I'm now in Dubai.
Okay.
But here a lot of people, it's a different country, and they have a different accent, and for me it's very hard to understand them. But after that I look for some new course to practice English, and I look your platform, and I joined here. When I joined in your platform, I was very confused, because I think sometimes to speak to people understand me, but sometimes
they don't.
How to say?
Sometimes they don't understand you.
Yeah, and I'm confused when I join, for example, C1 level. I sometimes I feel comfortable, but sometimes when I join in A2, there have, for example, Gigi. She's a long time in this platform. She speaks very well English, but I'm confused.
High five, Gigi. Yeah, you're right. So, at the beginning of our lesson today, we talked a little bit about levels, and how levels are really just names for these groups of ideas. And it's really difficult to understand each day or week which level somebody is. So
it's your place. But
right.
Sometimes, for example, other students in this platform, I'm very confused. But after that, I think I'm stupid. I don't understand why she don't understand me. But after that, she helped me a lot, and I feel
better.
Good. Yeah.
That's good.
Sometimes when I go break away, how to say?
The breakout rooms?
No. I have some holiday.
Ah, okay.
go away.
Uh-huh.
For example, 2, 3, 5 days, sometimes 10 days, and I back in the enjoy again in the course. I'm again I feel uncomfortable.
Uh-huh. And uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I forgot some new words for me because
Yeah.
I don't practice them.
But sometimes we need to go down before we can go back
Yeah,
up.
you are right.
So yeah, of course, if we stop using it completely, then we will forget it. Or we will use it worse, right? But also we should also there's our active knowledge and our passive knowledge. And so we have when we learn something, maybe we learned it one time and we understood it, and then we didn't use it for a long time. Now it's in our passive knowledge, right? Like I remember I completely forgot Italian, completely. I didn't speak Italian for years. Someone comes up to me and says like, nice to meet you. And I automatically answer like, piacere, like nice to meet you too. And you know, it's in there somewhere, but maybe it doesn't come out so fast, or maybe it doesn't come out, like it's hard to remember, right? But we learn it once, and then the second time it's usually faster for us to learn it, to relearn it, because we already know some basics. We didn't completely forget it. Yeah. Well, Albina, thanks for joining this lesson today, and it's great to meet you. And great, thank you.
Thank you.
So that's it for our lesson today. It was our last intermediate English lesson, but we have some more things coming soon. You know, we'll have more live videos like these in the near future, but we're going to take a short break for now for a couple of weeks, and then we'll have something new. Plus, I'm moving to a new house, so I have to move all my stuff and set up my new place to do this. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody who participated in our intermediate English course. Thank you so much to everybody who watched on Facebook and on YouTube. And it's really, really great. If you've gone through the entire course with us, then I hope that you found it very useful, and I hope that you'll be able to use it in the future. Especially a big, big, big thanks to everybody who's here today. Aida, Abdo, Albina, Saida, Colin, Gigi, Safa, Amira, and Nirvana. Thank you so much, everybody. It was great.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Good luck with everything. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Chris. Thank you
Bye.
very much.